reason that everyone says that you can't scale a business through sphere of influence is because we're all trying to do the same thing. We're just checking in on our sphere, asking them if they know anyone who wants to buy or sell. The truth is, this strategy still works. That absolutely asking for the sale is still part of the game, but ultimately we need to show up with better value, especially for those most important to us that are in our sphere of influence. So in 2026, let's not just check in, let's show up with value. Want to know some items of value that you can add? Stay tuned, we're going to dive into that. I'm Jeremy Kane with Carbon Collective at eXp Realty. So pumped that you're here. If you're interested in our 2026 success track, we're going through all of it, from all the experience, from my coaching of agents in 39 states across 4 countries, and for absolutely free when they join my group here at Carbon Collective. You can book a call if you're interested in that, the reagentwolfpack.com, or you can book a call in the link below. But let's talk about this, right? Something that makes my blood boil is sphere of influence is not scalable. Yes, I understand. Zillow leads are hot. I get it. You get, to chase those around town, and you can absolutely sell 20, 30, 40 houses when you're 19 years old in your first year. I've had agents on my team do that without the Zillow Flex leads. And the truth is that we can continue to grow this business. And if you are on one of those Zillow teams, more power to you. Keep grinding, keep working. But let's start backing that up with a little bit of sphere of influence, building those relationships that are coming to you so abundantly, building those relationships, serving those relationships, and then you're off to the races. This is an absolute game changer when it comes to sphere of influence, is being able to take advantage of some of these lead generation platforms that may be hot for a little bit and then, they go cold and you don't know. Because here's the deal. Someday that lead generation source, whether you leave the team, whether they get shut down, whether they quit doing it, whether they change their model, all of which you don't control except for the team part, what if that goes away? Right? Where's your business go? Are you back to square one? Are you back to building it, looking for the next and greatest thing that you can join, that next team that you can join that's going to help you build your business? No, use it as a leverage point to grow your personal brand and your business and bring value to those people that you're being connected with. And you'll never have to work another lead generation system that you don't like ever again. Work hard for 2, 3, 4, 5 years on that stuff that you're good at but just isn't your favorite, and you'll build that sphere of influence. I don't care if you've never stepped foot in the town that you served in before you were in real estate, or you've lived there your whole life. Your sphere of influence and paying attention to that is absolutely key, and you can grow it. Right? A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not from here, Jeremy, I can't build my business that way. No, you just have to intentionally grow it. And I'm telling you right now, leading with value is the number one way to grow that brand. So let's talk about this first. What is sphere? A lot of people are like, oh, it's your past clients, it's people you know. No, it's trust, it's proximity, it's familiarity. Right? You can build a sphere without, having lived in the same town for 20 years. It's just, okay, how do you show up? What do you do? What are your interests? Are you providing, client events that, bring common interest people together? Are you a family guy? Do you do family things? Is there, a spot for the kids at your client events? Those kind of things. Proximity builds trust, and that's ultimately what a sphere of influence is. You've heard me say it. Your sphere of influence is actually your business, right? Whatever you're doing to bring people in, you're jamming those open house leads into your sphere of influence. How do you get in proximity with those people again? How do you provide that value? How do you build that trust so that they keep coming back, right? Because every open house lead that becomes a client that you show a few houses to, that goes under contract, that now is a past client, is now in your sphere of influence. And even if they don't get all the way to the end of that road, as many clients do not the first time around, then we have them in our sphere. They're still going to transact. If they came up, they raised their hand, they started the process, maybe they need a little coaching, maybe they need a little help, maybe they need a little bit of your expertise and the value you offer so that they can be a part of that sphere. And that's how the game changes when you really look at it like that. Because, I hate to hear, oh, sphere of influence isn't scalable. Well, what exactly is sphere of influence? Is trust and proximity and, growth scalable? Absolutely it is. And this is something that you have to understand as an agent to take seriously. If you don't have a massive sphere? Most of us do. It starts right here. Most of us have a giant sphere that is, commission check after commission check waiting lined up in your phone. Oh, well, it's a different market. Okay. Have you ever heard of a referral fee? There's all kinds of options and ways to build this. And that's why I do not subscribe to the idea that you cannot scale this business through your sphere of influence. So let's talk about this. Most people limit what a sphere of influence is, right? They don't necessarily have any systems or rhythm in talking to them, and there's no expectation ever set. There's no value that comes in, so there's no time for a valuable conversation to set expectations. And here we are, right? Here we are again, looking at one of our cousins or one of our best friends posting about buying a house in your neighborhood without you as the buyer's agent. The worst feeling in the world. And I promise you, it's almost a rite of passage into this business for someone to say, yeah, I'm going to work with you, and then not. So understand that that stuff does happen. It's how you respond to that that changes the trajectory of your career. Happened to me. Two people that I knew raised their hand when I said I was getting my real estate license. Oh, we want to be your first client. Well, by the time I got my license and everything rolled around, reached out. They're like, yeah, we'll let you know when we're ready. Time goes by, whatever, we check in. He's like, oh man, I had to use, this person because, my mom was helping me out with a down payment and she wanted me to use her agent. Okay, am I supposed to say that you should not take that free $10,000 that your mom's willing to help you out by working with me? It makes no sense at all, right? And then the other guy said, I just got caught up, and this guy had, was a new build specialist. Turns out it wasn't a very good decision. So since then, I've stayed in proximity with these guys. I've talked to these guys, and ultimately was one of their real estate agents when they sold that house and bought the next one. It was a decision that I made not to flip out, not to be super frustrated back when deals weren't just coming to me naturally, right? And so it's a rite of passage. We've all been there. It sucks. It hurts. But how do we show up after that? How do we show up? How I decided to show up was, hey man, what's your address? I'd love to send you some stuff on your value and stay in touch with you. I'm, a proponent of home ownership. So however you got there, I'm super pumped for you, right? That was the difference of, a ton of deals that have come my way as a result of that response. And so we have to understand that we have to develop these systems. We have to develop this thicker skin so that we can make these same tweaks to what we're saying to people that absolutely change the game. And yes, it hurts sometimes. It's not always the best, but ultimately we have to keep going because berating someone or talking negatively or getting pissed off is not going to help us get that next deal. And it's also not going to help build this proximity and this trust that is required to build a sphere of influence, especially as we get going in the industry. So here we go. The whole thing. Once we start to get this system and we have one clear message, we have one target audience, we have one consistent voice, then all of a sudden we can start to build this brand, right, around our sphere of influence. Just like I told that person, hey, I'm all about home ownership and I'm here to help you build wealth. Do you mind giving me your address so I can keep in touch and help you do those things now that you're a homeowner? Right? That was paramount before I even knew it to what my goal was in this business, which is to help people build wealth through real estate. Now I help agents do the same thing so that I can have more access to as many consumers as possible because I believe that my life experience and my knowledge was put forth so that I can help others build wealth through real estate. So if that's through teaching your agent how to do it or you as an agent how to do it and give it to your consumers, that spreads my impact. And so ultimately, we've built multiple businesses around this exact function of what is going on, right? And then the system, like grab a CRM. Right? I actually have Lofty that I have used in my business, and now I'm able to sell that version of Lofty to you as an agent. So if you are interested, comment Lofty below and I'll definitely reach out to you because I will tell you setting up a CRM after 250, 300 transactions when the light bulb hit is a massive undertaking. And I've been through all of them. And now I have one that actually works and I was able to partner with them and help other agents do the same thing to set up their business. So comment Lofty below if you want that. But a system is intricate, and it doesn't have to be a fancy CRM with all the bells and whistles, but it does have to be something, whether it's a notebook, writing it down, I don't recommend that, or a spreadsheet. We can take all of that and get it into a database when you're ready for the bells and whistles. But ultimately, keeping that information, that data in one place that's easily exported is probably the key to success here that comes to your system. So it's one thing, because here's the deal. People don't refer agents they like, they refer agents that they remember. And so if you can be memorable, if you can be more memorable than that agent that gave them a closing gift at the end and walked away, right? You came in, you swooped in, and you were an asset to those, people, then you're good to go, right? And that's where my annual review, which you've heard about multiple times on this channel, I've spoke on stages. It's not a CRM, it's an annual review, it's a check-in, it's a conversation, talking about their market value, talking about their equity, talking about the loan, the insurance, the updates that they want to do. You can hear about that on another, video on my channel. You can check it out. But ultimately, this little tool right here that I've kind of created based on, a shotgun CMA that everyone suggests you do is a way to show up for your people. Right? And you say, well, how's it a value to people that don't own homes? The truth is it's not. But as I said in the video last week about 2026 strategies for success and to bring back the listing and to keep driving for those listings, an annual review you have to talk to a homeowner with, and it's helping them manage that asset of being a homeowner, right? In a way that has them make the best decisions and not refinance when they shouldn't, and not do updates that they shouldn't do if they're not going to be in the house for very long, and make sure that their asset is insured properly, and make sure that their equity is going to good use, and understand what's coming up, right? And so this annual review is certainly an opportunity to help homeowners, but ultimately our goal is to make everybody a homeowner. Okay, so I use it on the front end of buys. Like, hey, I will be in touch with you every single year. We're going to go over this, right? We're going to make sure that you're in the right mortgage. We're going to make sure that your interest rate is comparable and there's not opportunity to refi and save you a ton of money. We're going to make sure that when mortgage insurance, you hit that 80-20, that we're going to look at pulling that off if the loan allows, right? We're going to make sure that you have the right contractors. So you can use it on the buy, but still use it to generate seller leads, because ultimately the industry still is based on listings. If you control the listings, you control the market. And so use the annual review as a tool as it fits to your voice, to your business. And it's ultimately an incredible tool to build value within your sphere, to show up so that they know that when anything comes up about the home or the community or whatever, they can call you, ask the question. That's going to be faster than Googling it. So as we kind of, slow down here, we have to bring that item of value to the table. It's absolutely masterful because it helps homeowners, right? It's a pipeline building tool, because they're going to tell you how long they're going to be at the house and they're going to go from there. So yes, sphere versus paid leads. Paid leads might get you a little bit more relationships a little bit quicker, but ultimately, if you're not building that sphere of influence with those paid leads, then you become transactional, you become replaceable, and you don't become memorable, right? So if you're using paid leads and it's a strategy that's working for you, start building a sphere strategy that's going to pull those people into the sphere off of the Zillow.com websites where they're clicking on faces and getting that dopamine hit of looking at the next house and going under contract on it. So as we kind of pull back, as we looked at why listings are still so important and why they control the market and all of that, we have to understand that all of the things that we do are just to build this sphere. And if you think the sphere isn't scalable, please book a call with me, and I would love to talk to you, because ultimately the sphere built my entire business, my entire wealth, and I want it to do the same for you. I give my coaching away for absolutely free when people decide to partner with me, but I will talk to you and we can hang out and jam out for a little bit. If not, if you're happy where you're at, totally cool. Don't be afraid to book a call and let's start the conversation about building this strategy without paying for a bunch of leads, without going broke, but understanding that it's based around creating value for people. My value is not opening doors and meeting them at this, listing that they requested a showing online at. My value is helping manage the asset long term and make the appropriate decisions so that when the time comes that they need to access their equity or they need to downsize or upsize, that we're ready for that because we've been managing the asset all along. So please like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more 2026 strategies for success in real estate on this channel. We'll see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when that next video drops. Bye-bye.